We've been leisurely looking for a house. We've lived in town for about 10 years and this beautiful house popped up. And prior to this, Craig's been showing us houses, I don't know, periodically for how long?
About 3 years. He's
3
been
years.
a real estate agent.
And when we called him up, he just was really quick about just getting everything set up.
Yeah, for 3 years he's been so patient as we were kind of browsing for a home that would fit all of us but not be too big for us. Whenever we had a house that we wanted to see, he was right on it. He would meet us there and would check it out and say, well, maybe we're not ready right now. And last year we thought we were ready, but it didn't work out because the house needed too much work and weren't really planning on moving so quickly. And the house came on the market on a Friday and we called Craig. They had an open house Sunday and he got everything moving that day. But we had to sell our house, and there's so much involved with selling and buying a house at the same time and the financing. And Craig was amazing. He was so available. He was often the first person we spoke to in the morning and the last person I'd speak to at night. He was so accessible and he has a really good reputation in the area, so he could help us out in terms of getting the people in place we needed to make that happen quickly. And our good friends were using Craig at the exact same time. They were also buying and selling, but he always made you feel like you were his only customers, like he always was available. You never felt like he had to put you second to do something else, and our friends felt the same way.
When we started this journey, we just thought buying and selling the house is a financial transaction, but I didn't realize how emotional it can get. And Craig did an enormous amount of research about the properties, and you don't do this often. For us, this is probably once a lifetime transaction, and he just really made it easy for us to find the house that we liked and supporting through the process.
I think what makes Craig different, the first thing I think of is patience. We met him through another friend who took several years to buy a house, and I used to go with her to look at these houses, and Craig would meet us there, and I was like, who is this guy who's got this infinite patience and really wants you to find the perfect house for yourself? The other thing is Craig has a great knowledge of the area. He's from Holyoke. He's lived in Northampton for a long time, and he really knows the whole Pioneer Valley really well. He has a great knowledge with his work in the rail trails about specific areas for conservation land, nature, biking trails, and we really wanted something connected with nature, and Craig was the perfect fit because of that. His home is a bed and breakfast right on the trail.
And I think his involvement also gives him a different perspective about how well bike trails are connected, and knowing where houses are located really helped us find a house that's accessible to the nature.
Craig, encouraged us when we fell in love with this house right away. He knew how much we wanted it because he'd seen us over the years turn down a lot of houses that just weren't a perfect fit. So he suggested to us that we write a letter and explain exactly why we wanted it and get personal about it. And so within a couple hours of getting that letter to their real estate agent, they called us back and said they appreciated that we kind of understood where they were coming from in the house and property and accepted the offer. The relationships between the buying and selling, it is an emotional thing. We got a letter from somebody who wanted to buy our house, and she just seemed like such a great fit for the neighborhood. And then my daughter left her a letter in the house explaining why she loved the house, and then
they're pen pals now.
The person wrote a really lovely letter, and it was just such a great experience.
To have just a financial transaction isn't enough, and knowing that the house we love for the last 10 years is also enjoyed by someone else, and I think that makes a big difference. Someone who is so prolific in this field, to make that kind of genuine connection with his clients, and I really trusted advice he's given us, and as cliche it may sound, I feel like we gained a friend through the process.
Yeah, Craig is authentic, he's got integrity, he's a wonderful person, and I'm really glad that we've got to know him.